Welcome to the Essential Therapies podcast. I am back again on my commute and giving you some road reflections and just providing some teaching about what we do at Essential Therapies. Right now, I'm going to start with the calm technique, which I've talked about before. I started this idea, came up with the calm technique a little over 5 years ago when I was trying to come up with ways to help my patients understand what I meant by really getting into their body, feeling what's going on, and self-treating. This is something I've been doing every day for close to probably 25 years now, and really refining this process because many years ago when I first started doing the John Barnes myofascial release approach, there was no one near me that was trained in this technique, and I desperately needed it. And we were given some self-treatment tools in some of the seminars that I had been to, but I really needed to expand on it more. And with my background as being an exercise physiologist and also a yoga instructor over 20 years ago, 25 years ago is when I took my training. And it was an extensive training. So a training where you really dove into the body, and that really helps to connect the dots for me in myofascial release and self-treatment, self-care, exercise, movement, all of these things that I had been studying. And I was struggling at the time when I first started learning about all of this with running injuries for a number of years. I had migraine headaches, aches and pains in my body. The list went on. So about 5 years ago, as I'm really trying to analyze what is it that I'm doing that seems to be different and I'm not quite getting through to my patients, and started making a list of some of the things that would go through my head and when I would sit down or lay down and just begin working on myself. And I came up with these letters and realized, oh my goodness, I could make this say the calm technique, which is really what I was doing. So my background is very much a type A, focus-driven individual where I was, in school, graduate school, while working for many years, and just go, go, go. Very much in my head and not so much in my body. So what I learned to do was to start with connecting with my body. So that's the C for the calm technique. Assess is the second letter. So assessing my body. L is for listening, and M is for move. So I'm going to just talk about the C today. Begin with the calm technique and connect. And I will bring ALN in the picture in the next few days. So connect, what I mean here is so much of life, we are in our head. We live in a society where what John Barnes would call channel 5, okay, more of our intellectual side being in our head, as opposed to being present and feeling and in our bodies, and what I think of as more in our heart. So more heart-centered is channel 3, and being more focused from our head would be channel 5. So when John first started teaching this close to 50 years ago, this was an analogy he used to help people think of like watching the television. So you're watching channel 3 or watching channel 5, and the numbers are arbitrary. He just came up with them. I like channel 3 because for me, I think of also connecting the mind, body, and spirit. So those three things for me is what I think of when I think of channel 3 as well. So let's move to connect. What do I mean by connect? I will often say to my patients as they're lying on the table and I bring my hands to their body to feel, invite them to fully arrive in their body. And to some, that might sound a little weird. What do you mean? Here I am, But what I mean is, are you really present in your body, or is your mind off thinking somewhere? So consider this, and I say this often as well to my patients. They're lying on the table. Close your eyes and feel the room around you. What does it feel like? A lot of us aren't aware that, and we do this all the time. It happens, but we maybe don't put it into a definition of, wow, really see what's going on here. But if you close your eyes, you can kind of sense. If you're in a small room, you can kind of feel that it's not a gigantic space. You can tell that there's maybe not a lot of people around, or if there is people around, if you can close your eyes and really sense your environment, you can really pick up clues as to where you are and what's happening around you. This is a sense that we can improve. And if we pay attention to it, often we get better at it. So oftentimes our awareness is outside of our body. We're thinking about other things, places we need to be, or what's going on over there in the room or in another room or any place but inside our bodies. So to connect, we first want to be present inside, fully arrive in our bodies, feel where our bodies are. You can do this anywhere. You don't have to be lying down. I can be doing it right now, even while I am doing this podcast. I can be present of how my body feels sitting in the car. I can feel the clothes on my skin. I can feel the pressure of the lumbar roll that I use in my back, which feels very good. Multiple things. You can begin to feel even your breath coming in and out of your nose. And if you really quiet down, you can maybe feel your heart beating. As you bring awareness to your body and connect, this gives you now the opportunity to do something about it. Because if you're not being aware, if you're not connecting and present in your body, you certainly can't do some of the things that I'm going to suggest for self-treatment, for self-care, and to correct some of the things that have developed in our body, or to even let go of your tension and stress. So many people, and this week especially, I've seen it a lot. They're tensing in their shoulders and they have no idea. And I recognize this so much because this used to be me. I carried tension in my upper body so much that my shoulders were elevated and I didn't even realize it. The muscle tissue back there, the fascia was all solidified. I couldn't move well. And even if I did shoulder rolls and made my shoulder blades move, there was snap, crackle, popping going on. A lot of that had to do with the tension that I was holding in my body, which I just didn't even know how to let go of. Even in our face, we can hold tension. And not just there, anywhere in our body. The pelvic floor is another place where we often hold tension, anywhere throughout our body. So we must first connect and be present in our bodies, in our hearts, in the space around us. Bring that in closer, being connected with your heart. So that is channel 3. That is connecting. That is the beginning of the calm technique. Stay tuned to learn more about the assessment coming up in the next few days. Have a great day. And remember that you are creating tomorrow's body today. Please share with someone who could benefit, like, and subscribe. We appreciate your attention. Thanks.